In this YouTube video, I want to talk to you about loss leaders, what they are in your retail business, and how you can measure them for success. And I do mean measure because that is absolutely critical. One of the things that we've noticed as we've talked to clients all over the country in their retail businesses is that they might have some marketing program or part of their business that they're using to call a loss leader, or where they're trying to generate a lot of traffic or use that sale to increase the number of sales and hopefully sell more profitable things in the process. A loss leader is anytime that you sell a product or a service for at or below what it costs you to deliver it. So if the item costs you $1,000 to deliver the item and you're selling it for $1,000, your hope is that when people buy that item, that you can then gather them as a customer and then sell them other goods and services in the process that do make you money. Perhaps you can add on an extra item, or you can add on a service that is a profit generator. We call these loss leaders because we don't mind taking the loss that leads us eventually to a very profitable sale in the end. Loss leaders are very common among retail businesses. However, in independent stores, it's very, very easy for these to overwhelm you, both in the amount of time that it takes to do a loss leader, as well as it overwhelms your bank statement. You still have to take a loss. And if you're not getting profit out of it at the end of the day, then it really wasn't effective to be doing it in the first place. The big box stores know this, and they work very, very hard to make sure that their loss leaders are driving bottom line profits. We, as independents, need to be doing the same. And I want to give you a very broad approach to how to do that here in this YouTube video. And for all of our management subscribers over at trainretail.com, I'm going to give you a very detailed list on how you as a management team can go through each of your loss leaders and lower performing departments to measure and see if they really are driving those bottom line sales that you really want to drive. So here in this video, let's talk broadly about how to approach our view of loss leaders in your business and help put you in the right direction. And the first thing I want you to think about is, can you define what your lead is to begin with? If you're going to have a loss leader, then you have to know what you're trying to lead the consumer to ultimately. If you're selling them product A as a loss, then is product B or C what you really want them to purchase? Or are you just selling product A at a low price, hoping that it leads to them liking your business and that they'll keep utilizing their business more and more? You need to know ultimately what each loss leader is trying to drive the consumer to do. Without knowing where you're driving the consumer, you don't know what your lead is, and you're just going to incur the loss. And by the way, in the end, every loss leader has the same goal in mind. It should drive bottom line profits. And at some point, you need to be able to measure whether or not it is driving bottom line profits or not. If you don't have a measurement of what that bottom line profit is, if you can't measure the lead in a loss leader, then you don't have a loss leader. You just have a loss. Without the lead, you only have the loss. Measuring is absolutely everything. And if it's not your favorite thing to be nose deep in data and driving through reports to figure out if it's working or not, I had to say this part. You're just going to have to. You're going to have some way that you actively measure at the point of sale with your sales team on paper, that you know what you're trying to accomplish, and you can prove to me or anyone else, especially yourself, that the profit is being generated in the business. Here's how, here's why, and here is how this program is getting to that final product. You must measure loss leaders to know if they're effective or not. Finally, this leads me to point number 3. If they're not effective, you need to know when to pull the plug. In fact, when you set up a loss leader, you should start with the idea that at a certain point, if it's not working, I'm going to know, and I'm going to pull the plug on the program. If you can't be able to pull the plug and you say, well, I want to keep it going because it provides a good service to my community, it provides a good thing to people who need it, and I still want to be there for them by providing them this service or this good, that is well and good. That is also called charity, and it will not run a business very well. In fact, even charities need to consider their bottom lines at the end of the day. And you as a profitable business can't keep popping up little mini charities inside your business without it taking a toll on that bottom line. If you're going to do something purely as a loss just to try to, you know, help the community out, that can be a decision that you make. But you're going to have to understand and keep in mind and measure that it will affect your bottom line. It will affect your efficiency, and it could very well cap your ability to grow your company to the next level. That may not always be a bad thing if you're at a level that you're very happy with, but if you're in a season of growth or you're thinking about the next steps or the future, you need to keep this in mind. So define what your leader is in your lost leaders, measure it for success, and know when to pull the plug. Over at trainretail.com, you can subscribe to our management series where I will be taking this concept even further. I'm going to help give you exact steps to look at certain departments in your organization, measure them for success, and know when they are working and when they are not, and what to do from there. You can go to trainretail.com to learn more and subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, log into the management classes, and there I will give you more information on how to make this successful for your business. In the meantime, good luck out there, and I will see you next time.